I'd like to introduce our presenters, and before I do so, I'll just do a quick bio. In the meeting chat window, there's a few other guidelines that we have listed, so please feel free just to view that at the top of the chat. For now, I think it's a go. So firstly, Tim Paul joined the Western Cape Provincial Government in 2019 in the role of Chief Director of Digital Economy. And this unit is responsible for programs centered on broadband, public Wi-Fi, digital skills, and anything else to do with the enhancement of the local digital economy. Prior to joining this sector, Tim was the Managing Director of Internet Service Provider, a senior consultant with BMI Technology, and held various roles with a multinational telecom equipment vendor. He gained extensive knowledge working in the telecom communications sector in South Africa, Southern Africa, and Western Europe since the early 1990s. Tim is a subject matter expert in many aspects of telecommunications. During his tenure at BMI Technology, Tim was responsible for the formulation of the business cases for several of the major digital projects undertaken by the Western Cape government. In his current role, he is developing the technology and related strategy for the Western Cape for the next 15 years in response to the dawn of the fourth industrial revolution. Tim holds a BSc in electronic engineering, an MDP in project management, and an MBA from a leading UK university. So that's a bit of a bio on Tim Paul. Our second speaker and presenter for the day is Angela Abbott. And just to introduce Angela, Angela's passion and craft is in the field of business and people transformation, unleashing the greater potential of individuals to positively impact business and reveal the magic that can surpass expectations. She has had the privilege of working with many people to lift their own limiting assumptions and stretch their growth trajectory to achieve great meaning and purpose in their lives during her 20 years in learning, development, and performance coaching in the financial services sector. In the last 3 years of a journey in business consulting, being self-employed and project management at Pearson, South Africa, this has taken her to communities of the Western Cape to interact with phenomenal people at the face of mammoth challenges. Angela joined the Department of Economic Development and Tourism in the Digital Economy Unit in the role of Deputy Director in October 2019. Her qualifications include a BCom Honours, majoring in Industrial Psychology, Education, Training and Development Diploma, and certified in Coaching Practices. She considers herself an enthusiastic, positive and resourceful person with a curious nature, looking for creative and innovative opportunities to solve challenges. So those are short bios on our two presenters. And with that, I think not to waste any more time, I'm going to hand over to Tim, who will do the initial presentation and then followed by Angela. Thank you, Tim. Over to you. Okay, we may just see a bit of a technical problem. We'll hand over to Tim.
Robert, can anybody just let me know in the text if they can see my screen? If not, I'll just start talking.
Yes, all good, Tim. It's all good to go. Thank you.
It's all good. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, everybody. Welcome to this. It is our first webinar, somewhat hastily put together. So please forgive us just a certain amount, give us a certain amount of latitude. Any noises of children and dogs are provided free of charge, so enjoy that. So I'm going to cover the topic of the digital economy and answering the question, what is it and why is it important? So it's something, the digital economy is something a bit nebulous. It's something a little bit difficult to define. There is a definition that we like to use. It's this one here from SAP, where they have the diagram. Digital economy being that economic activity resulting from the billions of online connections amongst the things you see on the screen there, people, businesses, data, devices, and processes. It's something that's really has changed our lives, and I think we'll all argue that in this COVID-19 world, in the last 6 weeks, we've been somewhat catapulted into a new world of the digital economy. So why is it important? On the slide here, you'll see a few pointers. One of them is the way that the markets have changed. Digital economies now hold 7 or 8 of the top places in the Fortune 500. 10 years or so ago and 20 years ago, it was the big oil companies, big pharma, the likes of GM, and they have been pushed out by Alphabet, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and a few others, including Tencent, our own investment there in Nussbass. The digital economy is something that has been growing. Because it's a bit nebulous, it's a little hard to put an exact figure on it. And between the World Bank and a few other organizations, they've at one stage said it's about 10% of global GDP. Other figures recently say that it's about 15%, but they expect it to become a quarter of our GDP globally over the next decade. In terms of growth, a lot of the GDP growth has been attributed to the digital economy. And certainly the nature of work is going to change. We often hear of the fourth industrial revolution and how that's going to change jobs, but a statement that came out even before that term was coined, that the future of employment is changing. 90% of jobs are going to change. We're going to have some sort of digital component. Oh, going the wrong way. Okay. So I'm not the only one who thinks the digital economy is important. This was a photograph from the SONA, the State of Nation address back in February. It was around about Valentine's Day. Interesting to see how relaxed our president looked. I wonder if he had any idea what was coming ahead of him in the next 6 weeks. Nevertheless, President Ramaphosa said the digital economy will increasingly become a driver of growth and a creator of employment. And on Saturday, you may remember Minister Patel from the Department of Trade, Industry and Competition also mentioned the digital economy, and that's going to become very much an important sector in the growth of our economy and our recovery post-COVID-19. So the question comes to us in the public sector, what are we doing to make things better? So I'm going to give you just a very short overview of how we are supporting economic opportunities. And then Angela will give you more detail on the jump. That's the main act that you've come for today. So one area we are looking to empower people. We have our I Can Learn program, and this is to get digital skills and improve digital literacy. The ICANN Elsie's River Center is the place where much of the work that we do has been prototyped and tried very successfully with the community there. And this really is a shining example of how digital can uplift a community. Skills Boost, our digital skills accelerator, there's a few projects going on under that heading, is where we've looked at the difference between supply and demand for digital skills. And cut to the chase there, our universities and tertiary educations are producing a good number of graduates. We're importing as many as we can from the other provinces and even globally, but we just cannot meet the demand. And there are many thousands of digital jobs available as we speak. In terms of the concept of growth and jobs, JUMP, our digital business toolkit, is what we're going to cover today. We look after the digital sector, and we call this the Dash Tech, and we are looking to incubate and really grow the organizations here. A lot of research says put organizations together and they'll feed off each other. And that's the secret sauce we need to grow our economy. This list is non-exclusive. One thing that we support is through the CITI, Cape Innovation Technology Initiative, is the Khayelitsha Bandwidth Barn, a great place at Lookout Hill in Khayelitsha. And then internally, we have something called Digital DEDAT. And my sort of catchphrase is that we are dragging the department kicking and screaming into the 21st century and pushing back the frontiers of science and bureaucracy. That's my unofficial motto for our digital economy team. So today's focus is on JUMP, and Angela's going to take you through all the details here, so I really will not steal her thunder. You're going to see this picture and an explanation of what all those buttons do and all the magic and thinking that's gone into this application. So just a question of why. If we have a look at digital uptake in the Western Cape, some recent figures. The middle one there is a national figure, that 86% of SMMEs use their smartphones all the time. So some local figures, phone ownership from a recent NAMISA survey, smartphones are basically ownership of more than 80% in their sample. It was just an environmental scan. It wasn't a deep survey. Let's just qualify that. Again, an 80-20 rule, that use of apps, 80% of people are using some apps. And bottom right there is the real thing. As you can see that, again, about 80% of people are always using their smartphones. There are those who have the smartphones, even if they have the smartphones, they're only using them rarely, or there's what, 17% of them so using it all the time. The use of the internet is also comes out of the survey, and I just want to draw your attention to the fourth set of bars there. And it's looking across urban, which is in this case was the city of Cape Town, rural, and the township was an in-depth study in Khayelitsha, and showing that if we take it by the eye there, about a third of people use the internet to look for business opportunities. And the purpose of JUMP, as we're going to see, is to be able to make it easier and for allow more people to drive up those opportunities. Let's just go to the next one. Our department has just recently conducted a survey with over 3,000 responses. Not all the questions were compulsory, so that the numbers may vary. And we asked folks across the Western Cape in their response to COVID-19 if they're interested in receiving tips and assistance with taking their business digital. And as you can see from the slide here, there was an overwhelming response with about 2/3 of folks looking for that assistance. If we move on to the next slide, if you'll let me go there. Again, some details from this survey, and we'll see how JUMP can fill this business need. Oh, sorry, I've got my mother calling. How's that? Excuse me. Okay, so you can see from the survey there that about a quarter of the businesses, only a quarter or so of businesses have found new opportunities. A third have sourced new suppliers. There's clearly a gap there. Businesses need to remain relevant. They need to find new markets. They need to pivot. They need to adapt. Also, just looking at the figures there, how many people are using news websites, over 70%, and social media, 40%. So digital literacy is high. People are making good use of these services. However, we need to be very careful of fake news, and we need to make sure that we are providing quality news, quality information, and be a reliable source. Sort of final round of my slides here is the question of needing reliable information. I say there's about a third of companies there have that. We can help with the balance. And there's this question of bridging finance. About a quarter of businesses indicated they would like to have business, they're sourcing business bridging finance as a strategy for their businesses. And as Angela will explain, the funding assist is actually a matching capability. And we can match your business with over 600 funds from 400 lenders. It's a very advanced thing. So just some final media from the Western Cape. You'll see here that we have a couple of approaches. On the left-hand side is the JUMP app for entrepreneurs. And on the right-hand side is our supportbusiness.coza website. These are complementary solutions. And this has been very active in the last 10 days or so. And we're very proud that we've had a 34% increase in the number of user accounts created on our JUMP app. Folks, my final slide, when you want to look for us and find out more about what we do and maybe even subscribe to our newsletter, that type of thing, please just do a web search on Western Cape Digital Economy. It'll bring you to our page and you'll be able to see these tabs on there detailing our events, our projects, our newsletters, and so on. Folks, that's me. I'm going to put you in the capable hands of Angela Abbott, and I look forward to your Q&A later in the session.
Thanks, Tim. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm just going to bring up my slides quickly. Right. There we go. If Rob can just indicate there if you're able to see that on your end.
All good, Angela. We can see it. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, so thanks very much for the introduction, and thanks everybody for joining us this afternoon. And for Tim for the introduction. I hope that sort of positions who we are and what we're doing. So I'm going to just take you straight into our platform and just quickly just cover some of the areas in terms of the research we did that led us to developing the platform that you're going to see today. And we did extensive research with people like you in the marketplace to see what are the things keeping you up at night. And a lot of it came down to some of what Tim has mentioned around access to finance, access to business opportunities, to training, to grow your markets, the cost of doing business. It is quite extreme. So how can you do business in a more effective, cost-effective way? The ease of doing business, as not always easy to get out there and do what you need to do, and how can things be simplified? The kind of support that's available to you, where do you find that support? Who are those people and organizations? And obviously the infrastructure around it all, and who can forget the most recent nightmare and daymare that's arrived, and that's our coronavirus, just to turn everything upside down. So how have we responded? As Tim has mentioned, we have designed a solution. We are calling it JUMP, and it really is a SMME virtual ecosystem and support environment. There are many tools and training and features, and obviously linking opportunities to support and networks. And this is growing. We are adding to this on a regular basis. So, you know, just to sort of give you a little background, our first sort of iteration of the platform was a mobile-first website last year. We had a soft launch, which is a social media campaign launch in February this year, and our Minister Mania officially did sort of the big rah-rah press release around the 7th of April. So it is brand new in the market, and it is available obviously in app format, as Tim has mentioned, because we hear from you that a lot of you are using your cell phones. Okay. I'm just going to hand over to Tim quickly. I'd like to show you a quick video. Oh, sorry. All right. There we go. So I just want to show you a quick video from Tim's side, which I think really nicely and in a minute encapsulates what JUMP in essence does.
We bring you JUMP, a free business resource tool for entrepreneurs, a new way for small business owners to connect with events, content, support organizations, and grow. Put your business on the JUMP map and find beneficial people, other entrepreneurs, and resources near you. Stay motivated and inspired with our JUMPcast audio. Listen to free business advice from real business people. Do a business health check with Jumpstart. Discover how you need to improve your business and download your personalized report. Take your business digital. Find helpful digital tools and apps to streamline your business and productivity and remain competitive in this digital age. Need funding, a local biz support organization, or just business advice? Find it fast on JUMP. Turbocharge your networking and get a heads up on local business events and opportunities. JUMP, a powerful resource in the palm of your hand, brought to you by the Western Cape Government. Better together.
Great, thank you, Tim. I'll just switch back to the slideshow. Right, thank you. I hope it gives you a better sense of what the platform has to offer currently. And maybe at this point, before we go into it and the sort of live demo, as you can see in front of you, we have really tried to bring an intuitive platform that is really easy to use. And we've done obviously a lot of extensive development around making sure that it's really well aligned to a UX, which is a user experience, to make sure it's easy, that you interact with it. There's a smooth transition between all the parts of it, as well as the UI, which is your user interface, that it looks good, it feels good, and you're comfortable with actually utilizing it. So obviously, a lot of going app is really great in the fact that we're able to do instant updates in terms of the resources and the features and tools that sit there. There's a lot of downloadable content you can download and obviously read it at your leisure. And we have tried to create a little personalized feel about it, as you see here. So the in-app messaging will speak to you directly, which is really nice. And we obviously also have the opportunity to send out push notifications to you to notify you of any new events, any new features, opportunities, and things like that that sit on the platform. So we can keep you informed and you make sure you don't miss out on anything that's happening. Right, just to mention some of our partners, I am aware of the time, so here they are in terms of our developer traction consulting, and we have partnered with Google, and I'll show you how we've done that. And obviously we have had an extensive advisory panel, and we have a digital partner in UWC Colab, which has helped us bring you what you see here today. So I'm just going to quickly swing into the website And again, please just let me know that you're able to see that. This is our information page. Great, thank you. So you can come here, bizjump.co.za, and there is a lot of information for you here. I'll just quickly scroll down. You'll see that the way that we've tried to package Jump is around the life cycle of a business, typically starting the business, growing the business, scaling your business, to take you through that journey and through those stages. We do also offer the opportunity and encourage, obviously we're trying to create the ecosystem, the support ecosystem. So we want organizations, mentors, business support practitioners to also come in and create profiles onto the platform so that you're able to access them and their services at the basically click of the button. All right, so this is what our information page. There's a lot of information down here about Jump. If you're looking to contact us in any way, if you have any questions, and some of our partners. So I'm going to quickly swing into the Mobi site. If you are wanting to do this with me, it won't take you long at all. You can go into your App Store, and if you obviously on your Google Play Store or your Apple App Store, and you search for Jump for Entrepreneurs, you'll be able to download the app and work through it with me as we go along. As I mentioned earlier, you see that we've tried to approach it from the stage of your business. So before you load a profile, you might be wanting to know what the platform offers, and we've given a little brief sense of what each tool offers you at the stage of your business currently, and then obviously moving and progressing forward. I obviously do have a profile, so I'm going to log in quickly, but I will show you the profile fields, and then you'll see that it's really easy to get your profile up and running. Yeah, sorry. And now my password is invalid. Right, let's go in. Okay, here we are. And so you've seen this in Tim's slide and my presentation as well. I'm just going to swing over to the hamburger here and just show you this little menu bar. Obviously, if you have any questions outside even of this presentation, you're welcome to go into the frequently asked questions. Most of what we think users have asked and we know users have asked sits here. Otherwise, you can please send us your question and we'll address that and include that. If you're wanting to contact us or you have a technical query or any suggestions, please go in here. We are really willing and open to hear from any of you. If you are would like to partner with us in any way, or you know an organization that would, please refer us on. We're happy to engage and see how we can further enhance the platform to meet all your needs. And here is the profile. So I just quickly want to show you the fields. So it's as easy as this. There are some compulsory fields, but I would highly recommend that you complete as many fields as you can and most of the fields, because on the platform you have an option to list yourself, and that really helps when people want to connect and obviously work with you. So here are my entity details. You have an option to put in a logo image if you like, put in your website address if you have one, the industry you're working in. So that's all we require there. Your location is really important because we do use map capability on the platform. So we want you to be able to be seen by others out there, and for you to be able to connect with the people that are closest to you and located in your area. So it is a good idea to get yourself linked up to the map. There's also a nice option to do an audio. It's quite nice for people to actually hear you, hear the passion in what you do, hear the essence of the business that you run. So a quick little audio, you can redo it if you're not happy with your first attempt. Nobody has to see you, can sit and be doing it in your pajamas in the morning. Nobody really worries about that, but if they can just hear what it is you do in an audio format. It's really nice. Okay, so that's it. That's your profile. It's as easy as that. We'll quickly go into the relevant icons. Just on the top right to mention, if you come in here, you might see some notifications on this little bell. That's your in-app notifications. So it's always good to see that you're up to date with what's happening on Jump. So it's a good idea to go in there, and you'll see that there is this sort of carousel in the middle here. So there's 6 what we call sliders. We change this on a regular basis, so it's relevant and current. And we try to speak to some of your most recent and common pain points that you're feeling as a business organization or a potential organization. So you can click directly from these sliders and it'll take you to that particular content. Okay, so I'm just going to move from left to right. What's new? As the name implies, what's new? So what's new in terms of Jump content? What's come in? That's a new app. Who are the new people that have joined the platform? Some of the new tools, that's also quite helpful. And on the right-hand side here, I just want to say, please keep your eye on this. We're going to be bringing some stuff to you very soon. So that will also be, as Tim says, credible, trusted information that you require. So that's really easy. The next one here is your Jumpstart tool. So Jumpstart is, as we've mentioned previously, it's an opportunity for you to do what we call business health check. So there are 13, and I'm just streaming off my Wi-Fi, so it's possibly a little bit of a connection struggle here, but when you see it on your side, if you're working through it with me now live, you'll see it on your end. There's an opportunity for you to complete questions in 13 areas, all related to your business. It could be things like asking about your HR, your cash flow, your planning, things like your business plan, your technology, that kind of thing. So there's various areas in your business, quick little buttons you press. Okay, thank you. There we go. And if you can go in for me, Tim, anyone, I guess, just to show them how easy it is to complete the questions. Okay, and it's really based on your confidence level. So how confident do you feel on the questions asked? And you need to be honest here. Nobody's going to be checking this on your behalf. And it's really so easy, high, medium, low. And you basically save the question, and then you're able to see sort of what your average is in that particular area. You can come back and change this and update this on a regular basis. And you can see the little unlock keys there. The green ones are saying you have completed it, and the sort of goldy yellow color ones are saying that you're really doing well in that area. So here you can see where your particular gaps are that you may want to address. And sorry, Tim, if you can go back into one of the questions, I just want to show everybody where they can access. So you're saying, okay, well, that's great. I have a gap or I have a need in that area. What can I do about it? So what we've done is we've included some recommendations and solutions. If you click on one that you've done, Tim, if you don't mind, and then we can show them, thank you, and just scroll down. There are the recommendations. So we recommend a particular book. We recommend the Biz Assist, which is on our platform, and we have a particular article that can help you in that area. And just below that, you'll see that once you go through everything and you've completed all the solutions, it gives you a little achievement badge. So you'll get a little badge, and that's quite a novel way just to encourage you to keep going, because all of these areas are extremely vital for you to look at and reassess on a regular basis. So that is our Jumpstart tool, and please go in and do that when you're up and running in terms of your profile. Thanks, Tim. Okay, I'm just going to go back in. Great. Okay, right. I've mentioned the map. So this is the map. When you go in, you're going to see who's located around your particular area. So this is where you're going to find network, support, events, opportunities in your area, mentors, suppliers, new markets. And you basically would go in there and you would be able to connect and link up with them directly. So that's really, really nice. And of course, you feature there. You will feature for others to find you as well. Okay, on back to the left-hand side, Jumpcast. Right, so Jumpcast, we have a whole range of audio pieces for you to listen to, and there's great rich content there from experts, other people like you who are sharing their tips and guidance, their journeys, experts in the fields. And what's really nice is it actually shows you the topic. It gives you a little explanation of what it covers, how long it is, and you're also able to download that and listen to it at a later stage. You can also search by a particular topic. Maybe you're looking for something in particular, and it'll refine that that whole long list for you. Here along business listings, here's some businesses who want to share with you what they do that can potentially help you. And again, you're welcome to download those and listen to them at a later stage. Tools and apps. Okay, you've heard a little bit about tools and apps. So we have over 200 tools and apps for you to access directly off Jump. Again, if you're looking for something in particular, I'm going to say I'm looking for something about human resources, because I need to understand how this whole COVID-19 pandemic affects me and my people. And there are some resources there that pop up, and you would then directly go into that. So let's see here, 4 basic steps, and you would just go in and it'll take you directly to that particular tool, and you can engage with that tool. So that's really, really helpful, as well as apps. So maybe you are having to work remotely a little more these days. We all kind of forced into it. So what are the tools available to me, apps available to me that'll help me work remotely? And then you can just download the app from there. There's also a link to the South African Business Hub if you would like to see what they have to offer and access some of their resources. We have a partnership with them. You can go into their website and see what they have to offer. As I mentioned previously, we have a partnership with Google, and that is to take you, not a lot of people know how to get their business online. You may have some technology barriers or just some personal fears around it. So this really just packages it for you to show you what is available in terms of getting your business online. So these are some of the business suite tools that you can access through Google, taking your business digital, growing and scaling your business with some of the tools that they have, learning digital skills and advertising through Google. And once you click on here, it's obviously going to take you directly through to the Google platform to interact in that way. Okay, right. On the next button, BizAssist, this just gives you a local directory of some of the business organizations that are available to assist you, and you can click on. So maybe you're looking for, let's just say, small business development agency. We'll click on there. It tells you where they have offices, what it is they do, and you're obviously able to directly link to them from the Jump platform. So that is really helpful, and we are adding to that list frequently so that you can have an extensive list of organizations that are out there and awaiting to help you. Okay, events and opportunities. If you do find something under tools and apps, sorry, I didn't mention that earlier, that maybe you're in a little bit of a rush or you'd like to explore a bit more at a later stage, there is this little pin option at the bottom, and you can tuck it to your pin bar and access it a little bit later, read it up a bit later. So it's almost creating sort of a little priority list for you of everything you've seen that you'd like to view when it's convenient. Our events and opportunities. So here you are going to get a feed to events, and we are seeing more and more of these sort of physical events going on into the virtual realm like this. So a lot of them will be offered in the virtual space, which is which is obviously more suitable in our current environment. So you're able to go in here and you see what is that event, and obviously you're able to respond to that event. You can also put it on your pin board if you'd like to have a look at it a bit later. So it tells you where it is, when it is, how long it is. So it's really nice. These events help you to network. They help you to promote your product. You're able to learn and gain knowledge, and obviously get a wider sense of what's happening out there in the marketplace. Our tenders tool, we are bringing you something soon, so please watch this space, which will give you a live feed to tenders, as well as some much needed guidance on how to put yourself and what you have to offer across in a way that's suitable and for consideration. So please watch that space, as well as opportunities. We've just got some stuff here we were just testing, so you're going to see some great opportunities coming through for you really soon. So please keep a lookout, and we'll also push some notifications through to you once we're ready to link you up there. Okay. All right, and what's also really nice is our how-to guide. So we have a whole lot of topic-rich infographics for you on various topics, and again, we keep adding to this as well. And if there's something that you believe is not reflecting here and should be, please send us something. Contact us through the contact us button and send us that, or Tim and I, or our department directly. And this actually is giving you an indication of what's available, a topic, the little short summary, what format it is, and how big it is, the size. So we know we all a bit data watching and making sure that we're optimizing right now. So that gives you a good sense. And obviously you can also come and pin that and listen or go through that at a later stage. So let's have a look at managing your cash flow quickly. You will see, if you're following me, it is optimized to the cell phone screen view. So it's not going to look as big and clunky as you're seeing here. There we go. Thank you, Tim. Okay, and it really is just the pertinent points. If you maybe can click through a few of those screens, Tim, and then just for them to see that it's short, snappy micro bits of information, but it's the real critical stuff. So it's not a full-blown course that you're going to spend hours and hours going through pages and pages of text. It's really giving you the nitty-gritty of that particular topic, so that you can go away with something tangible that's obviously going to improve where you are, or address a particular area that you're wanting to look at. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. You can download that, as I've mentioned previously, so that's quite handy as well. Okay, Tim did mention this earlier, the funding assist. So there may be a huge concern right now, especially around our current situation and the challenges each of you are facing around funding. So you can come into this tool, Funding Assist. We have partnered with FinFind. They are lender agnostic. They give you pretty much everything that's out there, access to that, and a neutral aggregator. So you're able to have the best opportunity to find the funding partner that best suits you, and obviously where your criteria is matched. So this particular tool is obviously available 24/7. It's very quick, it's automated, and as Tim has mentioned, you have access to over 600 funding products and 400 funders. So you really have a big net there. What's also helpful at this stage is you also have the option to get connected to all the debt relief funding that's out there. So once you start loading the fields, because there obviously are a number of questions that they're going to have to ask to get the relevant information so that they can best match you. So you can choose one of those relief fund options, or just normal financing. Maybe you're just looking for startup capital, or you're having a bit of a cash flow issue, or maybe you're wanting to expand or take on a new supplier. So whatever your reason is for wanting funding, you come in here, you fill out the questions, and it's very quick, and it takes you to who's basically matched from a funder perspective. What's really nice is it tells you a little bit about the funder, gives you a nice summary. It tells you the criteria that's required, the application process, what are your funding options from that funder. You might be matched to multiple funders. And so the more information you have, you can pick which funder you'd like to go ahead with. It tells you the documents you need, and then you basically connect and link up directly with the funder and follow the application process. So it really does all that screening for you, and it matches you automatically, instantly, and really fast. So it's a really, really nice tool. If for whatever particular reason there's no match for you, there could be various reasons. Maybe you haven't completed all the particular fields, or you really don't have any of the criteria that funder is looking for. Then you will be sent a message, and you can contact our support center, and we will tell you what needs to be done and coach you through getting to the process of accessing that funding that you require. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay, so that is really JUMP as it is, and as I've mentioned, we are adding to this on a regular basis. So I'm just going to swing back to my presentation quickly. Okay. All right, so at this point, just to thank you for listening to me ramble on. I'm very interested in the questions that you're posting, and I hope that you've enjoyed and appreciated and found some real value in what you're seeing in front of you. So I'm going to hand over back to Rob and just see what your questions are, and between Tim and myself, we'll see where we can address them. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Angela, and thank you, Tim. Angela, that was a great presentation. I think we have had a couple of questions in the chat room. I will also see that Tim has been able to answer most of them, and our colleagues. So I think there's one question which was from Courtney Patrick, which I'm not sure was addressed. And the question was, if you're not location-based, such as a web app, would it be possible to set location as the Western Cape? I think that was one question we didn't answer in the group. Any feedback on that?
That's a good question. I'm not sure if Tim knows that answer, because it specifically asks you for the area. So potentially you could pick one closest to you.
Yeah, the real ethos behind this is for business to business in the Western Cape. So we're sort of assuming that you have a head office. But I guess with web services, they're ubiquitous and available everywhere. At the moment, there's no choice to select a virtual organization, but we will take note of that for future development. But please just register, choose an address, choose the castle in the center of Cape Town. There you go. They have good neighbors there.
Okay, and then I see there's another question from Yolanda. So I think the question most people would also ask is the app only for Western Cape based businesses?
I'll answer that one as well.
Okay.
And again, yeah, so this is an initiative of the Western Cape Provincial Government. So our intent is that it is to support businesses in the Western Cape. Technically, there's nothing that stops you putting a pin on the map somewhere else. We at this stage, have it for our own people, our own citizens, our own businesses. We are looking at an institutional model where we could use this outside of the province. But there's technically nothing that stops you putting a pin outside the Western Cape. But expectation is that you'll have few neighbours there. So best keep it in the Western Cape.
Okay. Then another question just came through for either of you. It's from Elena. The question is, can any type of business join, such as accommodation establishments?
Yes. Absolutely. Yes, that's a yes.
It's a yes, it's a big yes. Okay. I don't think I've missed any other questions on the chat group, so either that were answered in the group itself, in the chat room, or that's posted. So if there are any of the participants that were still with us that feel we haven't answered your question, you could please just post it, and we can address them while the session is still on. I do see we still have a few minutes for the scheduled time. And Angela, perhaps I just want to check in with you because I do know that opportunities like this is quite rare for us to engage with people working in the sector and businesses. And you had a couple of questions which I know you were hoping for some insight into, some feedback at least. And perhaps now's an opportunity to pose them. Maybe we don't answer them yet. But what I would ask is that before we sign off, that you just put your email address back onto the screen so that anybody participating in the presentation or in the webinar can contact you directly. I think that would be helpful. So if you have a few questions to throw out there, Angela, maybe now's the time. I know there were a few, so maybe this is the opportunity. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Rob. Yes, I think you're welcome to also pop your answer onto the chat directly while we're speaking. So I think I would just like to find out from all of you, what are some of the other tools or platforms that you're currently using and accessing to digitize your business and obviously create your competitive edge and gain you access to new markets. So that would be sort of a question to me. The second thing is also specifically around COVID-19. I just would like to get a sense of where are you getting your COVID-19 business related communication? What are some of the current avenues that you are accessing to get that information? There's a lot of stuff going around. So I just want to get a better sense of where are you going for the information you require. And then also, I'd like to hear from you on where you have been starting to digitize your business. What have you been doing? What's working well? If you are prepared to share, what are some of the things you have done, even maybe not due to COVID-19, maybe before that, that's taking your business online, that's working really well. And I think just to get a sense of where you are in that respect at the moment. And we are, Rob will mention later, having a series of webinars, so we'll possibly see some of you back on the next topics. But those are some of the questions I had to each of you out there. Please, I'd love to hear from you. I don't know if Tim maybe has something specific. But this is a great opportunity for us to just have a little airtime with you, sort of free pro bono.
Thanks, Angela. I think you said that very well. We welcome feedback. It's taken some time. We really are seeing a great uptake in recent weeks on the platform. With a platform, there may be development required. And so we solicit any of your opinions on what we should be doing better.
Okay, thanks, Tim and Angela. I think we've covered all the questions in the chat room, and thanks for putting out those responses. Angela, perhaps as I'm rounding up, could you perhaps just share your email address again, if that's
Sure.
Easy enough to do? So while Angela's setting that up, I just want to thank all the participants, all of you who showed interest and put time aside to join us on this webinar. As Tim said, this is the first in our series of webinars. We're aiming to do a webinar weekly. We have you on our databases. We'll send through communications around that. So we are quite excited about the series that's coming up. But for today, for your time, your interest and your participation, we thank you very much. Then also thanks to our presenters, Tim and Angela. It was really informative, and I think we didn't have any technical gremlins today, so we're quite grateful for that also. And then lastly, Angela's address or email address is on the screen and her details. I know she's very keen to engage with anybody around Jump, and she's super excited about it, as you can see. So please feel free to contact her directly in case you have any questions for that. And sorry, I'm just checking my screen. I see there's a few more questions coming through. Indulge me 1 second. Okay. So Angela and Tim, can you see the chat screen?
Yes.
Perhaps you could respond to them instead, just in the interest of time, if you could just chat to them or respond to them directly instead of me posing them to you.
That's
so
fine.
I think,
if I can I'll tackle Lawrence's question first there. The biggest issue for businesses is finding the opportunity. I thought it said funding, finding the opportunity. So that's exactly the point here. So the idea is for entrepreneurs, SMEs, to be able to put yourself on the map. It's another place to market yourself, get your profile out there. But as you would have seen in the registration process, you can look for similar businesses around yourself physically, but you can also look for business advice in terms of mentors and then professional services as your business grows, accountants and so on. So yeah, it's finding the opportunity. So please work your way through. There's a lot of information on, depending where you are and what stage you are in your business, there's a lot of information on how to brainstorm or use design thinking, this type of stuff, how to look for new opportunities and new ideas. And from that. So yeah, particularly in the tools and apps area, there's a lot of advice there, and the how-to areas.
okay.
The other
Thanks,
one, Courtney, I've received information for my full-time job, not the project I'm here for. Oh, so just in terms of when you register, you need to go through the process, and you register with an email address. So if you've got a Gmail address or some personal address, I would suggest that's the one that you use.
Okay. I think that covers them, unless I've missed something. I see there's Olivia.
If you could, Angela, if you could explain just what's happening with iGroups, that would be great.
iGroups. Thanks, Angela.
Okay, great. Yes. Okay, so basically we have a feature called iGroups, and that's an opportunity for us to create bespoke collaborative communication groups. So it's a specific interest group, it's a closed group, and there are multiple functions within that group that we can perform around setting up activities, sending documents, creating surveys, creating forums. So there's a lot of capability in the iGroup feature, and so we have the functionality, and we are looking at this stage to pilot with a group, with a real group that we can have access and tap into the services that feature really offers. So it's around streamlining and creating effective communication in particular groups, and obviously within that group it would be decided by the administrators of that group what the criteria would be to actually be part of that group, and that is all linked to Jump. So you would go into your Jump screen, and you would see all the iGroups you belong to, and you would access that iGroup and be corresponding with the people in that group. It's a very quick, very fast, very effective way to get communication out and get people collaborating and sharing, and get things moving in those particular sectors or industries, or even municipalities or areas or organizations.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Angela. I think we've covered all the questions. There's just one that came up now from Courtney. Yes, the notifications about upcoming webinars, they will, if Angela can correct me if I'm wrong, but we will be sending out notifications via the Jump app, and we'll also be using our email databases. So there'll be multiple avenues through which we send the notifications and the invitations. So please just keep your eye on that, and it should come through Jump also. Okay, I think we've answered all the questions. So in case we have by accident missed any questions, I apologize, but as you can see, Angela's contact details are there, so please feel free to contact her directly. And that's it for our first webinar series for Go Digital. Once again, thank you to all the participants, the team behind the scenes, to our presenters, and from the Go Digital team here at the Digital Economy Unit. We wish you to stay safe and take care. Yeah. All right, this is us signing off. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody. Take care.
Bye.